Hey guys, it's Riley Swords here, and today I'll be doing my top 10 Spider-Man games, because I know I haven't done a video in quite a few weeks, and I was playing a Spider-Man game, and just thought, heck, I've got loads of Spider-Man games, so I want to do a top 10 on it. So, compile my top 10, and here we go. Let's get to it. Number 10, it's unusual, but it's Spidey Unlimited, or SpiderMan Unlimited, the app game. It's like one of those games like the Minion game, probably familiar with that, where you like run left and right and jump and all that stuff. And I think this is actually better than that because you can watch some stuff you open and you tap to web swing and stuff. That's really fun. You go through the rings and the graphics look really good. There are loads of different costumes. All the villains look good. I like Green Goblin, Vulture, Electro, and some other villains. Some like events on the side you can do. And you can buy some stuff, but the only thing I don't like about this game is that it tries to get money out of you like all the time, so that annoys me. But for the gameplay itself, it's pretty good, but it's not an actual game, so that's why it's number 10 on my list. So yeah. Number 9 is SpiderMan Edge of Time for the Xbox 360. This game is pretty good. It's got like great level design. The characters look good, the moves are good, and I love the story that Spider-Man dies, but he gets saved by 2099 Spider-Man, and like when you're like going through a level, whatever you do affects the other person as well, because it's different timelines, so that's clever. But one thing I don't like about it is that it's way similar to Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Like, the character design looks similar. The level designs are similar. It's still good, but it's very similar. The moves are similar, and like the whole experience is just pretty much the same as Shattered Dimensions. Besides, like the story's different. But you could just buy Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions and just play as normal Spider-Man 2099 Spider-Man, and you basically get the same experience. But it is a good game. Got a great storyline, I think. But it's very similar to Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, so that's why it's only 9 on my list. So yeah. Number 8 is SpiderMan Friend or Foe for the PlayStation 2. This is a really fun game. It's very unique, I think, because it's got like the normal Spider-Man trilogy logo, but it's not actually based on the Spider-Man trilogy, and all the characters look like they are from the trilogy, like Green Goblin and stuff, and you can like fight alongside the Spider villains like Green Goblin, Black Cat, Rhino, Sandman, Venom, Duckhawk, Iron Fist, the new Goblin, Prowler, and probably some more, but I can't really remember them. And it is like really fun. I think the story is good. I go all around the world recruiting enemies because being brainwashed and stuff. And at the end you get to fight Mysterio and stuff, and like Spider-Man has to put on like the black suit to defeat him. And at the end you unlock the black suit to turn on and off whenever you want. So that's fun. And overall it is just a really fun game. Probably going to play today. So yeah, it's number 8 on my list. Number 7 is SpiderMan 2 Enter Electro for the PlayStation 1. This aimed to be like the improved version of the original Spider-Man, because it's got like the character's design is better. On this one, it's got like the webs on him, it's got the webs under the pits, which I like. I don't know why, I just do. And there's a thing called Create a Spider, where you get a Spider-Man costume. Oh yeah, there's some more costumes in this game as well. You get a Spider-Man costume and you like give it its own unique abilities, but which includes invulnerability. But I just think like it's necessarily like everyone's going to get invulnerability, aren't they? Because they want to play the game faster. But still, you don't have to have it. So yeah, you can fight a bunch of enemies like Hammerhead, Shocker, who's my favourite Spider villain, Electro, Sandman, and some other villains. And it is a really fun game, but I don't think it's as good as it's set out to be, so that's why it's only number 7 on my list. So yeah. Number 6, it was very close to making number 5, but it's here. SpiderMan Web of Shadows. this is a very dark game, I think, which I like. It's got like everywhere in New York is like, well, not everywhere, but most of it is infected with a symbiote, and everyone's being infected by it, like the civilians and stuff, and even Spidey gets infected. That's how you can switch from like normal Spidey to Black Spidey, which is, I think, is fun because they both have like completely different set of powers. So instead of like changing for like the lock, you can change for the abilities as well. And you get to fight some awesome enemies like Symbiote Vulture, Symbiote Black Cat, Symbiote Electro, which I think looks awesome, Symbiote Wolverine, who I think looks awesome, and some other symbiote characters I just can't remember what. And I think like the music in it's good, and I love the trailer where he's walking, it's like that piano music, and then he's just sort of like wearing the symbiotes. I think it's very unique. You don't normally like see that in a Spider game, like the melodramatic piano music. Someone's got his head down and stuff. So I think this is really great and unique and famous just for how dark it is. It's much more serious than your average Spider-Man game, and it was very close to making number 5, but it didn't quite make it. So yeah. Now, entering my top 5, number 5 is SpiderMan Shattered Dimensions. I think this was the first game I ever played on the Xbox 360, and it really made a good impression for what the Xbox 360 was about. This is a really fun game. The story is, there's this ancient tablet, and Spidey broke 6, he always screws stuff up. Not really, Spidey, I love you. And the tablet separates into 4 different universes, and so Madam Web, she like connects with like all different Spider-Men, so like where it is. You play like 2099 Spider-Man, which is awesome because you get to explore a futuristic world with all like flying cars and stuff. Basically looks like Coruscant, but it's still really fun. Ultimate, which is the black suit, and I love the design on that because it's like more slimy and you can whip people and stuff, and I thought that's what the symbiote suit would look like. It's just like all like alive and stuff. Amazing, which is normal Spidey. He's got some awesome web combat. He can like work gigantic balls with spikes and then just like whack your enemies and stuff. So that's why that's unique. Noir, which is probably my favourite character to play in this game. It's set in the 1930s. You get to like sneak up on people and like web them up and like get them from behind and stuff, and fight the Goblin, which I thought was very clever actually, because in his universe, Green Goblin's like a gang leader. So I don't think it would be called Green Goblin. It sounds kind of childish. It's just called the Goblin, which I think sounds pretty intimidating. So I thought that was good. So yeah, this is the first game played on Xbox 360. It made a really good impression, and I still love it today. That's why I've made number 5 on my list. Number 4 is the latest Spider-Man game, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 for Xbox 360. I was like quite impressed with this game when it came to the word sling, and I'm just going to put that out there right now because I love that. It was very unique. So it's like left trigger, left web, right trigger, right web. It's like almost first person view, you see on his shoulder, and you generally feel like you're swinging through the streets of Spider-Man. Did it 10 times better than Spider-Man 2 did for the PS2, I think anyway. And I think this is also unique for its you can play as Peter Parker, like proper Peter Parker, where you like walk around in like Aunt May's house, admire her decor. That's the kind of thing I like to do. Interact with like Kingpin and stuff, and say like, yeah, what do you want with Spider-Man and stuff, and like Shocker. Oh wait, no, you talk to Shocker when you're Spider-Man. But anyway, the thing is, when you're Peter Parker, you can just like walk around public places, and no one will like make a fuss because you're just Peter Parker. And there's one level where you go into a theatre, you get to snoop around and stuff as Peter Parker and eavesdrop on people. So that was fun. And I love the Shocker in this as well. I think they changed him quite a lot, but I think they pulled it off. Some people don't like the Shocker in this game because I think they're like too realistic with like, yeah, like a yellow hoodie and like a brown jacket and stuff. But I just think that's the best look he's ever had. And I just want to say now, I hate what Ultimate Spider-Man did to him. I think Shocker from Ultimate Spider-Man looks ridiculous. So I love Shocker in this though, he's the best. But the downside in this game is that like there aren't many missions, and most of them are really boring. I do like the Oscorp mission one where you have to break into Oscorp, and yeah, so and loads of people don't like this game for the combat. They say combat's boring, but it's just like attack button, dodge button. But I like it because you don't have to learn all those silly combos. You don't have to memorize them every time you play it. It's just attack button, dodge, and then that's it. And going back to the negatives, I don't like some of the costumes in there. Like, there are a bunch of costumes, but some of them no one's going to play as. Like the Hornet, I think that looks ridiculous. And that weird costume, I forgot what it's called. It has like white hair with the brown jacket. This looks ridiculous. I mean, who's going to play as that, really? I think they should have got Sam Raimi's suit in this game, like the original Amazing Spider-Man. And I think they should have put the wrestler suit in there just because no one's seen it for a while, and I love it. So I'd love to swing around the city as the wrestler Spider-Man. Unfortunately, I won't get that. But overall, it is a really fun game. Great web slinging, but some of the levels are just a bit boring, so that's why it's at 4. So yeah. Number 3 is SpiderMan for the PS2. When I was younger, I didn't have a PS2, and I only had a PS1, and I had the movie to this, and I always used to look at, on the bonus features, I think it said, Spider-Man hints in the first levels, and I always used to watch that thinking, man, I really want that game, it looks awesome. So eventually, I did get PS2, I did buy this, and it did not disappoint me. I really love this game. I saw like a few reviews on this game because I didn't really hear anyone's opinion on this game besides myself, so I was interested. And someone said that this game is basically just like an improved version of like the original Spider-Man game. It's just titled Spider-Man for the PS1. But I don't see it as that. I think, what do you get when you get my favourite PS1 game, which is Spider-Man, and my favourite superhero movie, which is Spider-Man, mold them into one, you get this. That's what I think, and the web swing in this I think is awesome. You don't actually attach to buildings, you attach to clouds in the sky, but I don't really care about web swinging, and I think it's time consuming, except for in Amazing Spider-Man 2, that was awesome, but I like games where it's like one mission to the next to the next. I just think web swinging around the city is just boring and time consuming. So I think this game did it really right. The graphics in this, for the time it was made, are really good. All the levels are fun. There aren't many costumes in this game, but you can play as normal Spider-Man, wrestler Spider-Man, who I always play as. I love that suit, as I just said. And the Alex Ross Spider-Man. I think there are a few more, but I can't remember. And so yeah, there aren't many costumes, but I don't really care. If someone's got wrestler Spider-Man there, I don't care. And you can play, if you do like this cheat, you can play as the Green Goblin, and not just like a skin, I mean proper Green Goblin with like the glider, pumpkin bombs, even the voice. He has the voice of Harry Osborn, so I love playing as him. With like borders like web swinging, I can just like glide around the city as Green Goblin, really fun. The cinematics I think are really well done. The voice acting in it is good. And I just think this is quite an underrated game, and it's just really awesome. So yeah. Number 2, you probably haven't even heard of this game, but I think it's an all-time classic. It is Spider-Man vs. the Kingpin for the Sega Mega Drive, or the Sega Genesis. They're pretty much the same. For the time it was made, I'd say this is like the closest thing you can get to like, not really free roaming, but really feeling the experience of Spider-Man, because you can swing around the city, not much, but you can. In the pause menu, you can do a thing called the Spider Shield, which is fun, and you can even go home to like recharge your health and stuff. I think that was a fun little thing to do. And one thing I love most in this game is the pictures. Like in other Spider-Man games, you can take pictures, but you can only take pictures what it tells you to. In this, you can take pictures of anything, and you'll get a price for it, like some money for it, but not like get one price for one thing, another price for another. It's like it shows like how well the photo is done and all that stuff, and it adds the money up. So I think that's really fun, because you take a picture of whatever you want. I think the graphics are good for the thing. All the levels are awesome. You can go in Central Park and fight Sandman, Venom, Hobgoblin, Electro, Dr. Octopus, the Kingpin, and a bunch of different Spider villains, which I think is awesome because it didn't feel like it was crammed in. I just thought it was all really fun. And you can sneak in vents and stuff, and it is seriously underrated. I can't believe like barely anyone's heard of this game. This is like one of those like the gem in the rubble or whatever you call it, and it never gets old because I have never beat it. I mean, I've got to the last level, I've tried really hard, I've almost beat it, but I just can't. I've had it for like the best part of like 11 years, and I've never completed it. It's ridiculous. It does aggravate me, but it makes me want to play it even more. So magic never dies with this game. So that's also number 2. And number 1, if you saw my top 10 PS1 games, you're not going to be surprised at this. It is SpiderMan for the PlayStation 1. Now, I know I said this with like the other 2 games, I think, but this is probably the most underrated game of all time. I mean, I saw some people on YouTube who say this is the best Spider-Man game of all time for multiple reasons, but it's like very few people, and I think this is 10 times better. I won't say 10 times, but it's much better than every other Spider-Man game. Besides Spider-Man vs. the Kingpin, that game's awesome, but this is still better. The graphics at the time it was made are awesome. It was the first 3D Spider-Man game. You can do a bunch of different web attacks, web pull, and web balls, and web dome, which is awesome. Bunch of different web attacks. You can swing around the city, which is really fun. Not all around the city, but you can do that. But you can't touch the ground. But I think it's clever because in the story, Dr. Octopus and Carnage release a gas into the city where you can't go on the ground. So I think that's kind of clever since you can't go on the ground anyway, but now you've got an actual reason why you can't. So that's fun. And there's so many, all the levels are really fun. There isn't one level where I think, oh man, I hate this level. It's all really fun. You can fight Carnage, Doc Ock, Venom, who else? Scorpion, and loads of other villains. And there's so many different cameos. And this year's coming from like Captain America, Submariner, Daredevil, Human Torch, and it's got an intro from Stan Lee. The first level, it's got Stan Lee introducing the game, which I think just screams, I'm an awesome game. But no one really seems to see it. But I will know that it's always going to be the best Spider-Man game ever. And I won't let anyone tell me different. So yeah, that's why it's number 1. So yeah, thanks for watching my top 10 Spider-Man games. If you've got any other top 10s or worst to best that you want me to do, post it in the comments below, and I might get around to that eventually. So yeah, see ya.